Hi, I'm Norman A. Hood, financial advisor and host of the Exit Plan Show. I interview America's top advisors, like today's guest, Tammy Kling of OnFire Books, to help business owners enjoy more personal freedom, grow their companies faster, and transition ownership seamlessly when the time comes. Welcome to the show, Tammy.
Thank you for having me, Norman.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
We're going to start out. I'm just going to have you tell our audience a little bit about your background and then your career path.
Sure. Well, my background is in corporate America, so I had a traditional path outside of college. When I graduated, I went straight to corporate America. And then I was in management, and I discovered that at one point I really wanted to do something different. I felt a pull. I was always an entrepreneur at heart, and I felt a pull. And my last role in corporate America was as an emergency crisis management team leader for a major airline.
Oh, okay.
So I worked an airplane crash, and I was in the jungle in Latin America, and it really was a crossroads moment, kind of made me rethink my future. And I thought, I want to make a change, and I want to be an entrepreneur who makes an impact on the world.
Okay, great. You and I just met. We've been friends on Facebook for quite a while. I think I read The Compass was the first connection I made with you. So I know you a little bit from back and forth conversations, but how do you think the people that know you the best, how do you think they describe you personally?
Well, the word that I hear most often is world changer.
Okay.
Which is flattering, and I hope it's true, but really I think they say that because it's what I say. I say that I want to create and equip world changers.
Okay.
So I think that's what I hear most often.
Okay. As far as your company, OnFire Books, could you tell us a little bit more about the company and what they do?
Sure. Well, OnFire Books is a company that creates books for world changers to equip them with their message. So, for instance, we write books, edit books, create books for entrepreneurs, large businesses, small businesses. I've written books with the CEO of Dial Corporation, Wrigley, but then I've also worked with smaller to mid-sized companies, entrepreneurs, and really people that have a desire to cascade their message out in a broad marketing way. So we think that social media is where it's at. However, if someone has a book, right, it really elevates their credibility in their business plan.
Okay, true, very good. There are other companies do the same thing, of course, but what differentiates you, do you think, from some of the others?
Well, I would say I don't personally know of any companies that do the same thing. I know it exists. Of course, everyone has competition in every industry, whether you sell shoes or cars. But for me, I would say that I keep my eye on the ball and so focused on what we do, and we have a specific criteria. So that criteria, I think, is what makes us different, which is that we only work with world changers.
Okay.
So I call them one percenters. So what does that mean? It means that they have to have a desire to write something, to create something that's going to actually mentor and not only build their brand or their business, but mentor others and teach someone else how to do it. Okay. So that's how I learned. You know, when I went for my first job interview and I was in my 20s, that's how I learned, is by reading books.
Okay. And you probably started this company on your own.
I did.
And now you build it into a team.
Yes.
So you don't have to do all the different things you did in the beginning. So
no.
Which means you get to focus on what you really like.
Yes.
What is that?
Yes. Well, I personally love writing books in one specific division of our company, which is the humanitarian division. So, for instance, the CEO of Feeding Children Everywhere is our client, and the CEO of Roma Boots. They provide boots for orphans. They just sent 10,000 boots overseas. So I really personally love giving on a deep level and learning from impactpreneurs. That's one of my clients' term, is be an impactpreneur and make an impact. And so that's really my zone and my lane. But we do have an athlete division where we have professional athletes. We have an entrepreneur division. I'm 100% on top of that as well. And I write all those books because I love business business. I love entrepreneurs, and I love to learn. And then we have a music division, and then we have a healthcare division as well.
Okay. Wow.
So, but the answer to your question is I really love really focusing on projects that make a difference and coaching CEOs or entrepreneurs through that process of, okay, I have a great company, but how do I build a great company that makes an impact?
Okay. Last question along these lines is a lot of people talk about their why. And of course, I watched your TED Talk, and I'm going to link that to the show notes so other people can see that as a point of reference. And I won't go through all that, but can you just capsulize for our audience why you are so focused and excited about what you do?
Well, my why is definitely to change lives. So our company mission is to equip world changers, to change the world. So my why is to change lives and sometimes to save lives, because if you think about words and that term that I use, which is words are currency, words are currency, which means we need words in every single thing we do, in every aspect of business, in every aspect of life, even in politics. When you went on your first job interview, you used words.
Right.
Words build, words destroy, words create wars. So for me, it's really about educating people on the power of words and being really selective about what we choose to put out there. So my why truly goes back to you can change a life with your words.
Okay, great. Now, the very last question. Business owners watch our show for one of 3 or 4 reasons, and I know one of them is you're really passionate about, but I'll give you all 4. They either want to enjoy a little more personal freedom, spend a little more time with their family, they want to grow their company faster, they want to transition the ownership, either sell it to a third party or turn it over to a family member or a key employee group, or they want to redefine their purpose because they've tied up their entire life in a company. Now all of a sudden they're leaving and they're not quite sure what to do with their life, or they may drag their feet leaving because of the fear of that. So if you could give a business owner one tip in any of those 4 areas, what would the tip be?
Of course, when it comes to your purpose, a lot of CEOs and business owners that I meet, they're at the point where they've been so successful in business that they still feel like something's missing.
Right.
So they might have even built a multi-million-dollar company, but they feel like something's missing. And they'll often say to me, I want to give back. So this book is my legacy. So to me, my advice is always the same. Let's be authentic. Let's focus and shape your legacy on the 10 principles. And I asked them, what are the 10 principles that you would want to leave behind with the world if you weren't here anymore? What's your 10 principles? And oftentimes those things come to mind right away. So my advice is to be authentic when it comes to your legacy and creating and crafting your legacy. Because in business, if we do things that aren't congruent with our calling and our legacy and our passion, that ends up being an unhappy situation for us in business. So,
Great interview. Thank you. That was Tammy Kling with OnFire Books. For more information about Tammy, please check out the show notes for this episode on our website.